Hi friends, hope you are doing well. Today I'm going to talk about the insurance requirement for people who are coming to the US on the J1 visa. And this is very important because these things are actually specified by the US Department of State. And one of the things this insurance requirement also lets you do is to kind of figure out the level of insurance which you should take in general, whether you are applying for any other type of visa. Now, what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to list out a lot of things which I'm going to read from my notes. So I'm going to put a lot of B-roll, and I'm also going to give you some web pages on the video which will help you get more information. Now do remember that this information I'm giving you is at the current time I'm making the video, and this may change in the future. So in all cases, you should go to the link to the US State Department website which I'm going to give you at the end of this video. Also, I should point out that I'm not an immigration lawyer, I'm not an insurance consultant or agent, and whatever I'm telling you is from my personal knowledge and information that is out there in the public domain. So with that disclaimer, let us begin. Now, each person who is getting the J1 visa, they should essentially have these particular levels of coverage. So the first thing is they should have medical benefits of at least $100,000 for accident or illness, and this applies to any particular accident or illness. There has to be a coverage for repatriation of remains in the event of any particular calamity happening to the person of $25,000 US. There also should be coverage for emergency medical evacuation of the J1 visitor to the tune of more than $50,000. Now do remember, these are of course the minimum amounts. If you are somebody who is more conservative, you can add to these amounts, but these are the minimum amounts which are given here. And the fourth point is that the deduction should not be more than $500 per accident or illness. So in any case you have a problem in the US, if you go to a particular medical center, they have something known as the deductible. And the deductible is essentially money which you have to pay out of your own pocket, and this should be maximum of $500. It should not be more than that. So this is something which you should keep in mind whenever you are getting an insurance coverage. Now any university or sponsor or research institution which is going to give you the coverage is going to have this particular information on the web page. So these universities sometimes provide coverage themselves, but in many cases you may actually have to buy this coverage from a particular vendor. Now the requirement is very clear that the sponsor should ensure that all the people who are coming on the J1 visa and also the people who are coming on the J2 visa should get insurance coverage from the first day of their visit to the US. Now what happens in many cases is that when you apply for the J1 visa, you essentially need to show the DS-2019 form, and you have to go through the process of the interview and so on, and at the end of this process you may get the J1 visa. Now at that point they may or may not ask you for insurance, but certainly the sponsor who is bringing you to the US is supposed to make sure that you get this particular insurance coverage. Now do note that it's not only PhDs and postdocs who come on J1, but there are plethora of people who get internships and who get various different programs, teachers and so on, who may be coming to the US on J1 visa. These may include nurses also. Now beside these particular information and limits, some more information is provided. There is a particular level of information about the type of insurance company you should get and the level of insurance company, because do remember that insurance is kind of like a probability game. So what happens is that you pay the premium to the insurance company, and the insurance company collects all these premium and it actually pays out the claims to the person who had the problem. So in case you insure many people, what happens is that only one or two of those people or a small finite number would actually have problems, and so the company pays to those people. But of course what should always happen is that company should be financially very solvent, financially very strong. So some of the guidelines which are given here for the insurance company are as follows. For example, there should be a AM Best ranking of A- or better. There should be a ranking from the Standard and Poor's claim payment ability of A- or better, or from the Insurance Solvency International rating of A, I, or better. So now these particular requirements are actually provided by the different institutions which are taking care of the J1 sponsorship project. Now there is one more possibility, is that you can actually get a policy from your home country, but this policy should be backed by the full faith and credit of the government of the home country. So in case your home country is sponsoring you for the visit and they are willing to take the complete care about your health expenses and so on as a part of the government guarantee, then that is also going to be possible here. Now in all these cases, make sure with your sponsor that you are covered well and all the things are completely proper as far as the insurance is concerned, because it is also mentioned in the web page of the State Department that inadequate insurance coverage may be catastrophic for an individual exchange visitor. And I would say this is not just for any individual exchange visitor coming on J1, but many people who come on B1, B2, or who come on H1 visa, L1 visa, or any visa to the US, they must ensure that they have good levels of insurance coverage when they enter the US, because what happens is that the coverage as far as medical costs are concerned in US is very high and the prices are extremely high. So this is something which you cannot meet out of your own pocket. Even if you have money with you, even if you have credit card with you, the expenses may be in the tens of thousands and sometimes even the hundreds of thousands and even millions of dollars. So you do not want to take any problem with that. Of course, to remember that these insurance policies are only going to cover you for a certain amount of money, and if you get problems which are beyond that, they are going to evacuate you to your home country. So that is particularly the requirement which says that they can send you back to your home country, and that coverage is up to $50,000 US. And of course, remember the coverage of $100,000 per accident or illness is generally required. So I would say when people often say they are going to conferences or they are visiting relatives in US, maybe you are bringing your parents or something like that, this level of coverage is something you can keep in mind, because this is actually being specified by the various government agencies out there. Now I'm going to tell you certain companies which are out there which you can go for. I myself, when I went for the J1, in one case I came for the Fulbright, so the situation was actually covered by the Fulbright Foundation. They will provide appropriate healthcare for you, but if you are sometime coming on your own, so I did that once on sabbatical, and at that time I got insurance from the Seven Corners company, and that was also quite good and it satisfied the particular requirements required for the J1 visa. Now do remember that whatever insurance you get, it is best if you do not have to use it. So in my case, fortunately, I did not have to use any of these coverage. So one of the important things you should always do is take care of your health. You should eat well, you should do exercise and so on, because of course the best situation is that you never need to use the particular insurance coverage, but it's always good to have insurance, because like I said, it's a probability game. There is a small, very small but finite probability that you may encounter some health problems while visiting US, and in that case you want to be somebody who has insurance coverage from a good solvent insurance company. So certainly you can do more research in Google. What you have to do is search for the J1 visa insurance requirements or J1 visa health insurance requirements, and you will get a plethora of information which is given out by different universities, which leads you to State Department and even the insurance companies and so on, and you can take advantage of this information out there. So I hope this video is useful to you. I'm going to give several more videos on the end screen, which you can then consult for a further deep dive into the insurance and visa process.